Spirit Lake at its core is a family gathering space. It is a place for congregation. It is a place for celebration. It is a place for being whole. And we are really creating the canvas for that to happen.
We went to Vetter with our story of our family and how we live. The collective clan is about 13 people, and it was just part of the family plan to come up here and gather around.
Process that we go through to make sure that we're capturing what our clients are looking for, it's a lot of work. We're really trying to capture sometimes more than just the programmatic, I want 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. We're trying to focus on what excites them and what are those qualities. And it's, again, these qualities without a name. They're not so easy to describe, but they're sometimes talked about more in how they feel. And so it's trying to incorporate that and instill those feelings into the architecture. We started working with our client just under 20 years ago, and it started really as conceptualizing their entire property through a master plan that could be built on and organically grown year after year.
To really sit back and look at the piece of land we had and how should we use that. We really wanted to be thoughtful about it, this idea of 7 generations ahead. Don't do something that you'll regret 3 generations away.
This is where everyone would congregate. Every family member around a big fireplace and hearth, and it was the central point or hub. And then off that, the other component is really some guest bedrooms. And this was all joined, again, by a very long sight line. And a sight line is kind of an unencumbered gallery or hallway space. As they have to navigate the building and walk through to get to different pieces of the building, they're constantly reminded of nature, and there's a reward at the end of that sightline of a beautiful view of their property that sometimes is not focused on the lake. So it's looking at all these, again, inherent qualities that are there and trying to weave them into the architecture.
I grew up in Asia, I grew up in Amsterdam, I grew up all over the world as a seeker and as an observer, collecting artifacts. I mean, I have a really terrible addiction to artifact collection, but it's also just part of my observation and my memory. Having accumulated all those things, you get to an age where you have a lot of stuff and memories, but you're having to cut back and curate down. The idea of editing away at this stage in life, editing it down to its purest form, that's where I am, and this space is about that.
Modern architecture gets a bad name because it sometimes is ill-formed, or it's cold, or it's stark, and so we're here to really show that, clean, essential contemporary architecture can actually be warm, it can be cozy, and I think that happens through material usage. And we're trying to weave together a beautiful but simple palette that is as authentic as possible, and what that means to us is real timeless materials. Materials also that have the ability to patina or age, and they actually look better as they're used, and they look better as time goes on.
Back to this idea of 7 generations ahead. I may not see that, but my grandchildren or my nieces and nephews would. come back up here and you open that front door, and this physical space, you literally feel your body just relax. I attribute it to the space itself and to the importance of architecture and what that does to you on a cellular level. You can't always articulate it, but you feel it.